Well, hello, wealthy women. It is Coach Tamara here. I cannot tell you the excitement and joy I have in today's featured interview. It is with Christina Rowe, and so many of you know her already from the Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs Facebook group that she has grown to become this overwhelmingly amazing platform where women help other women and encourage other women, and she also has her beautiful standout online membership program in there for those who want to go ahead and get their business out there and visible and have the chance to connect with like-minded women and find new clients and build new relationships and collaborations. And I have to share a little bit before I turn over the camera because Christina has meant so much to me. So basically, many of you know, I have been doing promotional marketing since 2001. And, this is back in the day where I would meet people in person or I would be on the phones with them. And it was amazing. So I was always promoting women business owners. Back then it was spas and salons and, boutiques and all of the things. And then later, when I decided I really wanted to go into coaching and, empower women, especially on money mindset stuff and, all the things that matter, I found myself, as many of you, in a new world where it was all about how many followers do you have on Instagram? Do you have a Facebook group? You need to do TikTok dances. You need a YouTube, all of the things, right? I'm sure you can relate. And I was so excited and had so much experience already helping women business owners. And I thought, this is kind of crazy that I have to. It's not that these aren't beautiful platforms, but to me, I was just getting started on this and I have no followers. And I thought, I'm ready to help now. And I can't believe I might have to wait so long until I get a following and can share my business and help others. And I quite honestly felt so overwhelmed by it. It made me lose a little bit about the joy that I had in building my business. And I really remember I said, God, there has to be a better way. There just has to be. And talk about universal energy. Within 2 days of this declaration of like, there's got to be a better way, Christina Rowe shows up in my feed. So I don't know who she is at this point. All I know is her group captivated me. I stepped in as a guest in her group, checked it out, and I thought, oh my goodness, I definitely want to do this at some point. And I knew that I wanted to be able to promote my work in her group because she already had my target market, which was beautiful women business owners that were looking for somebody to help them grow their business. And I knew I could help them in my own specific ways. And I joined her Standout Online membership program. I didn't worry about my Instagram following, my Facebook group. I still haven't. My numbers are so low. But I tell you, joining Christina's group alone was all I needed to jumpstart my business and really succeed. And I can't recommend her group enough. If it is just the only thing you want to do is go into her Standout Online membership program and promote your business to, over 1 million women business owners, she's got an amazing platform in there. Or if you do it in combination with growing your own following on all of the platforms or one of or two of the main platforms. But I just want to really give a shout out to her because it's not only me that she has helped. There are so many women business owners in there that have been helped so much by this group that she began, and the others support this group. They support each other. It's such a nourishing environment and it's so special. And so I just really wanted to give you, Christina, such a bravo for what you have done. And I will now pass over the microphone and let you go ahead and tell us all about how did this come to be? What made you want to start this beautiful group that helps so many? And yeah, share a little bit of the details on that.
Well, first, I said thank you so much. It makes me so, so happy to hear, your success with the group. And I can't take all the credit to these amazing women who are in the group, and that's what makes a community. It's not just one person. The Facebook group is not about, whoever starts it, making it all about them. That's what people
Yeah.
forget. It's about the community being able to share and help one another. And it just gives me so much joy to hear stories like yours because That was the reason why I started this. So, it's interesting because you're from New Jersey. I lived in New Jersey for a very long time, and I had a salon in my former life. I say it, the past life. My ex-husband, I went through this horrendous divorce, which led me to write a book about divorce. And I had,
Mhm.
four kids, and my ex-husband wasn't paying child support, so I had to really hustle and figure something out. I sold the salon, and first I got involved with online marketing. And then after being divorced, I really wanted to help women. So when I moved to South Florida, that was the beginning of forming a women's organization. I had two partners at the time in South Florida, where we primarily did these live events in South Florida. We did big events, we did luncheons, all sorts of things. And that led to me starting Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs, and started off just as a small Facebook group with maybe less than 1,000 women from South Florida. And then it just started taking off. More and more women from all over the world started joining, and it got bigger and bigger. And, at the time I was doing coaching, and had so many coaches, so many women who were in the group doing the same thing I was doing. So I'm like, I got to have a different model. I don't want to be, competing. I don't believe in competition. It's collaboration. And I want to give these women a platform to borrow my audience. So that's where I came up with the concept of letting them promote and starting the Standout Line membership, so that they would have a place to use my group, which I was growing, to get the word out about their business, which, and have success with it, because it's more success for everybody. So that's basically how it all began.
That's amazing. And tell us a little bit, like when someone joins the promotional part of your group, first of all, everybody can join your group. It's a free group, and
Oh,
you have amazing help and support and free trainings in there. So just even coming in as a visitor is an amazing opportunity for everybody. But maybe you can share a little bit of some of the highlights of joining your Standout Online program.
sure. So, like you said, the group is free. It's for everyone. You don't have to be a Stand member. And a lot of people will say, well, I see all these posts from Stand members, which is funny because there's 874,000 members in the group. And there is less, I mean, I can't even tell you the percentage. There's less than like about 1,000 Stand members or less. So that's a like 0.000 point. But because their posts are popular, the members vote them up, and that's how Facebook works. It's like if you put your like or your comment, Facebook says, okay, we're going to show it to more people. So it's a small percentage, but it gives the members a chance to promote their business depending on what level of the membership is, from one time a week to up to, with VIP, 5 times a week. Now we just increased the times that they can post. And a promotional post is considered either you're like promoting a business or you're getting leads. So if you've like, putting your Facebook group, or you're trying to get leads to a lead magnet, which is what works. So people have to understand, if you come in, like, it's not like an ad, you go into a community and you put a link in the post and you look very promotional, people are going to pass that by. Nobody's going to bother because they're not in a group to see ads. So the best post that works so well is when it's like a really great lead magnet, that's something of high value that members want. Then they're like, yeah, so give it to me. And Facebook will, if you put a link in a post, you can do this with the membership, but Facebook will not show it as many people. They want people staying on platform. So it's always good to, ask, and then give in the replies, in the comments, give the link to wherever you want to send the people during the membership. They can also go live depending on the level of membership. And we have other benefits too, as well as being in our directory. We have a podcast, which is all done basically by the members. We have now our new virtual coffee chat hosting, which has been amazing because we have another community over on School with 7,000 women called Women Helping Women Mastermind. And the Stand Online members are the ones hosting the virtual coffee chats. And that's where everyone come in for free. 30 seconds, pitch your biz, mastermind, brainstorm, which it led by the leader being the Stand Online member who leads those. And our Stand Online members are having a lot of success. One of our members just joined, and she got 2 high ticket clients just from hosting. She didn't even promote herself. It was just because she was in the authority leadership role. And, someone started asking questions. And that's what people don't understand about the power of Facebook groups and just being natural and helping other people. You're naturally going to get a lot of business, once they know what you do, because people need that help. Like you said, you knew you had an audience, you wanted to help women grow their businesses. And there's so many women who are, they don't have a platform, they don't have any traffic, like you said, they don't have followers. And it's very frustrating to be in that situation. It's like, okay, well, what do? I don't have a fortune to hire a Facebook ads agency, which charges minimum of 4 or 5,000 a month before you even put your ads. So, people don't know that, but it's very expensive.
Exactly. And then it's the engagement in the group, like you're saying, that makes it so special because Facebook ads or all of these sort of cold traffic, for lack of a better word, just really miss the heart. And so many women are so, soulfully motivated to be of service to other women and to be in an environment that is so supportive and engaging, like your group is just amazing. And I love that you pointed out that though in your combined groups you have well over 1 million women
Oh,
business
yeah.
members, right? But what I love about this, and this is one of the things that has stood out to me, and I would like to share it with everyone here, because we have all been exposed to Facebook groups where we get in them and we just realize it's link after link after link and there's no substance, right? And I just really want to make it very clear that Christina's group is not like this at all, because like she said, there's a very, very small percentage of women that are doing this. And so there's so much engagement and robustness and nourishment to it that you really feel like you're, even though your numbers are so large, you really do feel like you're part of a sisterhood. And it's a very safe and trusted environment. And I honestly cannot say enough about it. And all of the things that you do allow your standout on members to participate in, it's so amazing. And I know I've heard a couple other members say there's so much that we haven't even gotten to all of the best benefits. We kind of focus on a couple of the really great ones and have so much success with just those. And we know that there's like 3 or 4 or 5 other things that we can be doing that's part of your program. And it's just nice to know that we can continuously grow in this regard. And I know that you're always adding new wonderful things to it as well, which is, it's just such a beautiful platform for everybody. So, like I said, for me, I just really wanted to avoid the initial overwhelm of growing my own social media platforms. I wanted to help right away. And Christina's group is what did that for me. And I know that you have some really everybody has, varied success stories based on many different factors, but you have some seriously shining examples in your group, a couple millionaires. I mean, you have had some serious success with some of your members. Maybe you want to highlight 1 or 2 of them where they kind of stood out to you.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so yeah, but like you said, there's a lot of women just using the platform to grow their businesses. A couple that stand out, I would say, would be Allie and Katie from Sales Sisters. Amazing. They started, and I was just talking to her yesterday. She was telling me again the story how when she found the group in 2020. She initially joined this, I think it was 2020 when she came in, or but when she came in, like you, she was like, okay, she came from corporate. She's like, what is this? This is a different type of environment. She joined the program, and her and Katie, they have, gosh, they've grown their group now to about 90,000 women, 85, 90,000 women, and they've made $2.5 million in their business. But I'm gonna say it's all from my group, but they've taken lots of people from the group to do that. Whitney McQuaid is another one. You might be in her group, the female entrepreneur community. She's grown her group to 185,000 women. She's been a member from way back. So a lot of women have used my group to fill their groups up. That's one success story. There's just so many of them who've just used getting so many leads. Actually, I was just at Funnel Hacking Live and I met a woman who said to me that and she's in real estate, by the way. She's making about 15,000 a month just from my group. And
Wow.
she got 30,000 leads from, she blew me away. I was like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. So there's just so many of them who are using it, figured out how to use it in the right way in order to get these people to raise their hands and want to come into their environment and their world and get helped by them. And some of the other benefits too, we have, like you were saying this, so like, a lot of them that are there is like you can submit monthly blog posts. So we have 250,000 plus on our page. So we do put like the blog posts, we put spotlights on the page. LinkedIn, I have like over 30,000. We put it on LinkedIn. So we do put you out. And we have this website, womenhelpingwomen.biz, where the directory is and where all the blog posts are. And that's great for SEO. So a lot of members forget that we have these other benefits, and the podcast, which is on Spotify, it's on all Apple. And that also gives you, every time you do something, outside the little things that you put when people Google you and stuff, it's just more exposure. The more places you can be, the more places people are going to see you. And that builds trust and credibility.
It's amazing. I love this. And before we get into the round of success questions, which I love doing because it's always so inspirational to hear someone's journey to their own business growth. I know it's so inspiring to all of the women that are listening to the podcast or will eventually read this in the book and all of those good things. I just wanted to make a special. I am sure women that you are hearing this and want to join Christina's group immediately. And I highly encourage that. And I love cats, by the way. And you got some beautiful fur babies back there.
I
Love
love,
it.
my cats love whenever I am on camera. This one. He's a shy cat, but not on camera. He wants to be on camera for some reason. This is Jasper.
Fantastic.
This is
Fantastic.
Poncho.
Oh, what a beauty. Yeah, I am a total pet lover and cat lover. And he's like, not right now. I'm not going on camera. But I just wanted to, all of you women that are so excited to check out Christina's program and join her group, I wanted to make it even a little bit more robust for you. So many of you know that I have my own promotional program that's going to get you in my book, on my podcast, on my YouTube, on a 24/7, 365-day YouTube live stream. Now you will also be shared on TV, on Roku and Amazon Prime. And of course, I'm going to share your success story in Christina's group when I do my own personal lives. So if any of you join Christina, I'm going to leave a link. I'm an affiliate with Christina because I love her work so much. It is, I want to just shout it out to all the women in the world. Please join her. Please join her group. So if you join under my affiliate link, you will get a version of my promotional program absolutely free, including all of those things I just mentioned and a couple more fun bonuses. And so you can just go ahead and check out on the link that I'll leave, Christina's Standout Online membership program. Check it out. And if you join, there's going to be a whole bunch of more promotion from my side to you, because both Christina and I want you to be successful, because us business women have purposes and we want to serve others and make their lives better. And when we make someone else's life better, then they can have a better life experience with their family. And it starts to become generational. And it's very important that we all support women, because we are on a mission to be empowered, and all of us rising up together, not competing, but collaborating, complementing each other. This is a universal mission where we all need to stand strong and help and inspire each other. And when you have a chance to work with Christina and allow her to help you get your voice out there and help so that you can help those people that you are serving, I mean, there's nothing better than that. So that's all I'll say for now. And are you ready for some success questions?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay, I love this. I need my reading glasses because it's just, you know how that goes sometimes. So,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, my first question is, if you could only choose one answer, what is the number one way that building your business has enriched your life and empowered you? And why would you encourage that for another woman to go for her business dreams?
Well, okay, so I think it's so empowering for a woman to have their own business, to be in control of their own money and to have that freedom, because I know what it feels like, when I was married, 4 kids, but there was times when my ex-husband, I saw the writing on the wall, but it couldn't leave. I had 4, little kids, and because I didn't have the money to go anywhere, and so many women are trapped. That's what really pains my heart, is when you're trapped, like you're not in a happy relationship, or maybe you are in a great marriage, but like you feel you want to, you're home with the kids and you want to have, it's hard to go get a job, because babysitters now, I know, because my grandkids, I know, like my son has a 2-year-old and he was like, they're like $30 an hour. Like, it's insane. Up to that amount, like here, well, in Arizona, I'm like, what the heck? Like, that's gone, daycares and stuff. So women like get trapped in this cycle, like where it's so hard, or if they're working, they don't get to see their kids. So having your own business is so important. and being able to have that power that you can make your choices in life. You don't have to stay somewhere you don't want to be. Now that's, I think, the biggest impact of had for me was having that freedom to finally be able to support my kids and my family now and take care of everyone and just be completely independent. Because, it depends on what generation you're from. Like, for me, you still saw your mother didn't work and dad did everything, and women get in these roles. And maybe that we're seeing less of that now as the younger generations come in, but that was a very prevalent when a lot of us were young, and then we get into situations where we're expected to just get married and have someone take care of us. And
Yes.
it's funny, I remember my late father when I was like 7 or 8 years old. I used to go, we go out to dinner, and I love to order like the shrimp cocktail, the lobster tails. I mean, he would think it was so funny. And he would go, but he would say one thing, he would laugh and go, well, you better marry a rich man someday. So like now I look back at that, I'm like, okay, no, it's that was a generation. It should have been, you better go out and get yourself a business so you can, pay for the stuff when you get older. But instead, that's put as women in our minds. So go find the man, the man's going to take care of you. And I think and so we need to take care of ourselves. And then we could take care of our man. Why not? When you meet someone great, it could be equal. It could be, you can be you can be in that power position. So that's my greatest motivation, is so other women can do that. And no, I would never want another woman to feel stuck. And I know how that feels to be stuck.
Yes. Yes. I mean, this is exactly why I also became a women's empowerment coach, especially with the money mindset focus, because I saw with firsthand within my own family with some mistakes I made. I saw my friends doing it, and there was just this um we just didn't set our boundaries. We just didn't expand our financial capabilities. And, you live and you learn, and then you do better, and then you teach better. And I know Wendy, Amy Porter, we're all in this. We all want everybody to be empowered women, just one for the beauty of all of the goodness that, you know, financial empowerment can give you in all the blessings that can come of that, from whatever that means to you. But also, like you're saying, where you have choices, that if you need to take a u-turn, you can do so, and you don't have to get stuck. And this is extremely important. And I love that, the like you said, the newer generation coming up are seeing such strong women paving the way. And that's why it's so important that we keep, trailblazing, because we are setting an example for those that are coming
Yeah.
behind us. And, we're changing the world. So it's a great time. So love your answer. Love it. My second question to you is, uh, I think many women have empowering routines, sometimes morning routines. Do you have any specific, I like to call them wealthy woman habits? Do you have any specific things that you do every day without fail that kind of gets you going into your success mode?
Well, I always, every day I am learning. So I always have like audiobooks because, I used to read a lot books, but my eyesight, like, and I can't wear glasses because they make me nauseous. I should have them, but like reading, like, go, okay, I'm going to switch to audiobooks. So now between Audible and even a lot of people know the Spotify, if you have a subscription to Spotify, you get a number of audiobooks. So I listen constantly. So for me, I love to walk, and now this is a great time of year in Scottsdale. So I walk my dogs, and I'm always having some sort of learning on, whether it's YouTube, Audible, constantly learning. And I think that's because you always have an idea. You always have some little spark or some motivation, whether it's you're listening to business stuff or motivational or whatever it is, mindset stuff. I think it's important to always have stuff going on because you can easily fall into a trap, when you're not like feeling 100% that day, and then
Mhm.
you're like start spiraling the opposite way. So it's to put the positive stuff, always whenever you have a break, even when I'm like, cleaning up or, you know, making dinner. I'll say making dinner, but I live by myself, so I use a toaster oven, but I do cook for my dogs. So
Yeah, I love that.
dogs are good for. They have this machine is called Chef Paw for dog food, and I make them. So I'll put the listen then, like I find little opportunities just to stick
Mhm.
the earbuds in and listen, whether it's in the car. But I think constantly educating yourself, no matter what level you're at, because it's a funny thing with wealth. Like I'm in two very high end masterminds. One is Russell Brunson's Inner Circle, which You have to have a 2 comma couple or to me, you have to make $1 million or more to be in it. So you think when you make your $1 million, you think, oh yeah, I'm hot shit. And then you go into rooms like that and there's people making 100 million or 50 million. And you're like, okay, I'm a small little pea in this, you know? And so it's all perspective and it levels
Yeah.
you up being around those kinds of people. So that is another thing too. I highly recommend our masterminds or being around the energy of people who have the success that you want because it levels you up. And then you think, okay, well, that's, then you'll look back and be, oh, million, that's not as much. I'm at 10 million. It's like, and where in, I remember thinking, gosh, if I could only make $10,000 a month, I remember like writing that down. I'm like, I'm going to be rich. If I can make 10,000 a month, like that's going to change my life. Where a lot of us out there, you might be watching this right now, just that 10,000. Once you hit that 10,000, 20, up to
Yeah.
100,000 or more a month, then it's like, okay, now I'm going to make even more. And it's just, you're just setting your temperature level, right? With wealth,
It's like
right?
your new normal. Yes.
You're normal. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then you look back, you're like, okay, well, I can't live now on that amount. I'm going to make this amount. And it's nothing wrong with it. It's great because you're just like leveling yourself up. And by doing that, by surrounding yourself, listening to other successful people, and it's free, you can go right on YouTube and get so much value.
I love that you said that. It's actually one of my success questions in here. And I was going to ask you, I already knew this answer, but just for the audience, have you had coaching before? And what would you recommend to somebody who maybe isn't in a position to have coaching? And you just answered it. There's books, there's YouTube, there's the free resources. And then of course you should always kind of join and evolve and join some coaches that, are
Yeah.
a good fit for you. But I also loved what you said about it is very important, especially for many of us women business owners. We work from home and we're alone, and it's amazing sometimes, but sometimes we can feel a little off. And if you are finding like your mood is going low, always having a little goal. It doesn't even always have to be gigantic, but something that help, like you're saying, that helps you learn and grow a little bit more each day. This is going to keep you in such a positive mindset and keep you in a good state of mind all the time. And that's very important. I also I'm like that. I have to make the bed. I have to tidy up the house. If I'm feeling like sometimes I'll just work in my PJs if I'm in a, content creation time and I'm in that creative zone. But if I'm feeling a little off, it's like get the shower, clean the house, do these little things, a little exercise, walks, meditate, all these things matter. And so I love that, learning is, it really does pull you, it consistently pulls you forward. And I also love what you're saying, you know, right now, you are an amazing success, but I love that you took it back to in your beginnings. It was that first big milestone goal. Maybe it's the first 1,000, then it's the first 10,000, and you evolve and you grow. And so for all of you who are not in the big numbers yet, you'll get there. You're climbing your own ladder to success, and it goes in increments. And I love that you said that because it's the same for all of us, right? So yeah, yeah,
And yeah, then a lot of people, and I used to do this too, back before I had the success I have now. I used to like see other women and be like, oh wow, they just have all this success and I've been doing this longer than them. So what's wrong with me? Like, why is that? And that's like, I'm sure so many people can relate to that feeling, like you put yourself down because you're like, okay, I don't understand why I've been doing this so long and I can't get to that level. But it's really just staying in there and keep trying things that work. If you quit, you lose,
yes,
and eventually you're going to get there. I did, and then it breaks
yes,
through. It's open. It's like, oh my gosh, now you have this tremendous success, but it's not overnight. And I think that's a big misconception. You'll see very young girls too popping up there. Oh, I just made $1 million, this last year or whatever. And normally that's like going to take a while. There's going to be a backstory to all of this. So just understand what you see on these influencers and stuff isn't always what's, you don't know how many years before that they've struggled or,
that's
what
true.
happened or what trainings they had and everything too. And you'll get there too, but just give yourself time and don't give up. That's the most important thing.
Yes, I love that. And maybe you can even one of my next questions probably makes more sense if you go back to those beginning feelings, because we kind of just spoke about that whole
Yeah.
comparisonitis, or however you pronounce the word. But in the beginning when you started, how did many women tend to feel, imposter syndrome, or they're so afraid of going live, or getting in front of people. Can you bring us back to when you first were starting all this in Florida with your Facebook group of 1,000 and it was brand new? And like, how did you overcome those first feelings that maybe you felt as well as a lot of these women?
Well, it's interesting. So when I first moved to South Florida, when I met these two other women that I partnered with our original women's organization, and the one woman, she was a little older than me, very powerful woman, phenomenal energy. Was a leader. She had organizations all over Florida, and she was my mentor, Barbara. Like she's just an incredible person. So being like watching her helped me a lot. So we had done we're doing a workshop on the book Think and Grow Rich, and we had a
Oh,
speaker because
yeah.
at that time I wasn't speaking yet, so we were promoting it. And at the last minute, the speaker said, "I can't do it." And I remember thinking, "Oh my gosh, who are we gonna get to teach us?" And some voice in my head said, "You, me," meaning like you're gonna. And I remember arguing with yourself. I'm like, "No, I can't do that. I'm not rich yet. I can't teach about Think and Grow Rich." And then I started reading the book and understanding Napoleon Hill was not rich when he wrote that book. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to actually do this. And this is my first time actually speaking. And I did this workshop and it went amazing. We had all these people there, and that was gave me the confidence because I just pushed myself out there. It was scary, but I said, okay, because I was like arguing with myself. No, I can't do that. Like how you get that thing in your brain, like, oh my God. But I think just immersing yourself in it too will get over your fear really quickly. When I wrote the book, Seven Secrets of Successful Divorce, that started this whole online journey, I wound up getting a lot of publicity. And I remember I got this call I had a meetup group in New Jersey actually for divorce, and they called me up. It was Fox Network for this show called the Mike and Juliet Show, which was at the time a morning show. It's not on anymore. And they were like, "We're looking for people with kids in divorce." And I'm like, "Who want to be on the show?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll do it." And so then they like flew out to my house, interviewed my kids. They flew me to New York City and my older daughter, and we're on the show. Millions of people are going to watch. Like I remember looking like about to go on that like studio stage, and I'm like, my leg is shaking. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. But I forced myself to do it. So then everything else becomes easier. Once you do something like that and you start, doing these things that are so uncomfortable, like you're like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But if you just push yourself through it, everything else gets easier. So that's why I suggest, like, if you just take up these little challenges. One of the first things too I did when I started doing all of this was join Toastmasters. That was
Okay.
really great, and I still do ums and ahs, so but I remember that, and, like, that was hard too because you had to, like, memorize something and get up there in front of everybody, and that helped me get out of my shell too in the beginning. Toastmasters are phenomenal if you have a local one in your community, just to get your confidence level up so that you can speak on lives, and, you can go and practice, you can, with your lives, and n not a lot of people are gonna see you at first unless you have a big following, and you just push yourself to do it. Time it for 5 minutes. Just talk like you're talking to someone else. But just the more practice you get, the better you're going to get at it. And it's just a matter of breaking through and not having that imposter syndrome because we're all starting out somewhere. Nobody's perfect. And it's okay to make mistakes. You don't have to be perfect. People don't want perfect. If you mess up, like you see my cat jumps on my back, who cares, right? So you just go with the flow. And people like that better than you trying to be this perfect, you know, manufactured, edited person. Just be you.
I love everything you just said, and also about, just being you, unauthentic, because I do remember when this whole online thing started, everybody looked like they've been airbrushed and perfect. And I think it was very intimidating at first to many of us
Oh,
online business owners. And then you saw the change, and the change was just people were over that. They want real people that feel like their best friend next door that can't pronounce, comparisonitis and I'm still
right.
saying it wrong and I don't care. And it's okay. Or they don't have perfect videos edited and they just because they can feel the soul of a person and the real heart of a person and that translates and that message is so much more important than, looking like a model. People want transformation with people that they trust and
Yeah.
that is very important. And also what you were just saying about getting over your fear, you said yes and you just went for it. You jumped and you're like, the net will appear. And it reminds me of one of my favorite books I read so long ago, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway.
Gosh,
Yeah,
I love that book. I
yeah,
read
I read it
that. I was
multiple
like,
times. Yeah,
"Yes, that is an amazing book." Everybody, if you've not read that book, that is an amazing book because it
yeah.
just sums it up perfectly. You just feel the
You,
fear. You're always going to feel the fear.
yeah,
It's
yes.
never going to go away completely, but it just gets so much easier because okay, I'll be a little nervous, but then I'll just push through it and I'm going to feel great about it. And there's I'll have little challenges, but if you break through it initially, you'll get to the other side.
One of my favorite things I like to say is get comfortable with the uncomfortable. Just get comfortable with it. Accept it. Just be okay with it. Sit with it and just allow it. Not everything has to be all, perfect and calm and peaceful. It's okay to have that healthy kind of stress, that excitement, the same endorphins happen when that's happening. So just yeah, say yes to life, right? And growing. So okay, you kind of mentioned some fun things that you did in the beginning to market your business, some that just came up like, hey, you want to be on a TV show in front of a million people? And you're like, yes, I do. But do you remember some of the other initial ways when you were first starting, maybe especially specifically around building that first Facebook group? How did you market that? How did you start to get your first subscribers or followers?
So initially, like I said, it was from reaching out and inviting friends and people in South Florida. And then I think the key to the success of the group was, the name of the group, Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs. It's people searching. So I always tell people when you have a Facebook group, don't name it after your coaching program. Don't name it after yourself. What is your ideal target audience searching for? Because if they're looking for, I need help for women's business or women empowerment or anything like that, or women entrepreneurs, my group would pop up. And then Facebook puts my group into other groups with similar names. So that is a big key too, is to name your Facebook group. So that's one of the things that I did right in the beginning, where Facebook started when they saw the traction of people starting to join the group. They went out and they started, showing other people in other people's groups. I also have a domain that I bought that's called womenhelpingwomen.group that leads to the free group, because then you could shout that out on a podcast. A lot of people don't know that you can get the .group instead of .com.
Very
So you make
cool.
it easy because you can't say Facebook/group/ like if you're on a podcast or you need a video, it's easy to say Women Helping Women group because you'll remember that. So having that is a really great tool as well. And so I think that's what happened. I think the most important thing is getting your group engaged from the beginning, because that will then help single to Facebook again, that, okay, this is an engaged group. They're pushing it to people's feeds. Because if when you're in a Facebook group and you go comment or do anything, you see that in your feed. It's the only social platform that has that when you think about it, that you can be there, for your friends, family, your own stuff. And then all of a sudden you participate in a group and now that group is showing up. So the more engaged your group is, the faster it'll grow. And so keeping it engaged, and a lot of people ask me, well, how do I keep the Facebook group engaged? Well, you have to ask members questions and let them post. Let them talk about themselves. It can't be one-sided, and ask them questions that are irresistible, and not about, it's not about promoting, it's about building trust. And this is, I think right now in this year is like trust is so crucial. They say attention is a new currency. It's attention plus trust is the new currency, because people have been burnt before. They don't want to just buy from anybody. They want to buy from people who they perceive as experts and authorities. That's one of the reasons we have for the Stand Online members in the main group, you get a badge, an expert badge with your authority on it. So whenever you comment or post, people see that, and people will look at you a little bit differently as an authority, as far as just another member who maybe, oh, I'm going to get ripped off, or, it gives you a little more credibility.
Absolutely, absolutely. I It is so true everything that you're just saying, and that engagement. And that's why you'll even see a lot of people that are doing Facebook lives. They'll be like, type a one in the comment if you agree, or write where you're from, because all of this is boosting the algorithms. And we definitely there are algorithms, and we can do certain tactics and strategies to kind of help our engagement
Oh yeah.
grow and then following grow and so forth. And I know that you know so much about this, and you're so generous to teach, your whole community kind of these tips, which it's so beneficial just to be in your group. So again, everybody go to Christina's group. I have two
Okay,
more success questions for you. So my
sure.
next question is, sometimes, there's women that desire to have their own business, but they don't, they're in the beginning stages. They don't exactly know what it should be. Do you have any suggestions for how they maybe can get in touch with their soul's purpose, what their mission in life is supposed to be, that can give them some good guidance and green lights into what they should, proceed forward in?
I think it comes down to your intuition and your higher self. What excites you? So a lot of times we can get business ideas and we think, that, oh, that's a great idea. I can make money with that, or I can make money with that. But if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to stick with it. Unless you have a tremendous discipline, but most people won't. So what excites you? What gets you really revved up? What makes you like can't sleep at night? Like, oh my God, I love this so much. I remember when I found online marketing, that was for me. I went to an online marketing workshop for the first time after I wrote my book. And I remember not being able to sleep because I was so excited. And back then, this is 2006, we didn't have ClickFunnels or any of these things. It was something called Front Page, which is obsolete, but I was like fascinated with it. So you find that thing you naturally are going to be wanting to explore and research and spend the time, but you got to find that spark for you that gets you excited, and that gets you motivated, that you're like, okay, I really want to, go into this line of business here. And don't get swayed and listen to yourself, because there'll be people present you with ideas and you may be excited, but then there's in that pit of your stomach. You ever get that feeling like, no, no, but you're like ignoring it. You're like, wait, no, but that sounds exciting. But you get that, if I
Yeah.
get that feeling, listen to it.
Yes.
And I think that will guide you to the right path if you follow your intuition, because there's so many opportunities and so many niches. So you have to find the one that really resonates with you and your talents and what you can give and get you excited.
That is such a amazing answer and relatable, because when I was first starting, I had a very developed skill set. I was building websites. I was graphic design strategist. I could do so many different types of things. And I was a little stuck at first because I'm like, okay, well, I can do all these things, so I should do all these things, because why wouldn't I do all these things? And what happened is it's just an overwhelm. And then it started to, like you're saying, the enthusiasm came from, okay, and you peel back the layers, and it's okay if you don't get it all at once. It'll develop over time, but just kind of go with your instinct, like you're saying. And just because you can do something, just because you can even make great money at it, doesn't mean you're supposed to do it if that's not your heart's calling. And it's kind of like what you're saying about other things that maybe people present you with. These shiny object syndrome things are very enticing, but we have to kind of, you almost have to kind of keep your blinders on. And one of my coaches said, have one focus until you make that one focus a success, and then maybe branch into something else. But if you do too much, you're going to get overwhelmed. And it's kind of like what we started with when I was saying I was so overwhelmed with all the social media platforms I'm supposed to be on and share and do all the things. I said, I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed. I don't like it. There's got to be a better way. And then you showed up in my feed and it changed my world. And your program, Stand Out Online membership, became my one focus. And I just kept focusing on that, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I was able to grow from that. And so, yeah, really good answer. What makes you the happiest to do? And that's even in the tasks, right? Like,
Right.
at some point when you have all these social platforms, where do you like to spend your time the most? You don't have to be a master of everything. Choose one or two and make the most of those platforms, right? So keep it simple, and then
Right.
you'll succeed. Okay,
Yes.
my
Yes.
final question for you is, and of course this changes and it's a tough question to answer, but if you could define a day in your life that is successful, what does that look like for you?
Oh, okay. That's really interesting. Just an average day. What is
An
successful?
average day.
So if we talk about, for me, I have to write everything down and cross everything off to stay on track, because I will be like a ping pong with ADHD. I truly do have that. So like I will veer off. So for me, success is like, sounds crazy, but like getting things done that I want to get done without, going off track. because I can easily do that, get caught up into different things. So, and then being in a great mood and feeling happy, and that's a successful day. Just feeling gratitude, remembering what to be grateful for, staying in a positive mindset would be the top. Like just to have that's a great day, whether I do anything else or not. Second would be, staying on track and not getting off track and, feeling that sense of accomplishment at the end of the day that, okay, I've crossed all these things off. I did the most important things today. And now I feel good, not like overwhelmed, like you said, because it's so easy to go into overwhelm. Once you go into overwhelm, you can't do anything else. It just paralyzes you. So
It does.
I think
It
it's
does.
really, really important for everybody to remember to try to stay on track with things and not get off the
And
beaten tracks.
often and to compliment ourselves, because so often we sometimes focus on the things we didn't get to, or we didn't do as properly as we had hoped to, and we have to get it in our self-love and say, wow, you did great today, good job accomplishing whatever it was that was on your list. Even if you had three things on your list and you only accomplished one, still
Yes.
compliment yourself for accomplishing the one. So I I
Don't be
I love that. I think that's, and all of these things, these are like those small muscles that you build to build up your confidence, to build up your self-trust, and to know that you can do it. And it just really is a one step in front of the other process. And the consistency is where it's going to pay off, and staying heart
oh, yeah.
centered, right? Yeah.
Yes, and giving yourself credit, like you said, like, I like I have this little rock, it says gratitude on it that I don't know where I got it, but, like, I keep it next to my bed, so at night, I hold it and just remember a couple things I'm grateful for every night, and that puts everything back in perspective. Because at the end of the day, a successful day is not gonna really even be about your business, it's gonna be like, "Alright, I'm so grateful I had such a great, experience," like a memory, like, when creating memories is the most important thing, so it could be simple, you just had a great time with your dog or with your kids or grandkids or just the relationships that we have make it really successful and what we're grateful for.
Well, Christina, I am so thankful for such a beautiful, inspiring interview and talk. There's so much that you shared that is going to be so helpful to so many. And to all of you women out there, please go to Christina's group. It's free. It's Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs. It's in the Facebook group, but like Christina just said, it's Women Helping Women Entrepreneurs group. You can go
You just
direct. Is that
women
right?
dot group. Yeah, you don't have to put entrepreneurs, just women helping women dot group.
Okay, I'm glad that you said it. Women Helping Women group. So go there, just explore this beautiful, wonderful group that she has created along with all the members. Like you said, it's a shared experience. And then really, really consider her standout online membership program. It changed my world. I know so many others that are so grateful that they're a part of it. It will really just be a benefit to your business, and getting that visibility out there for yourself in such a big way, in a community that you feel really good to be a part of. And like I mentioned before, if you do happen to join and you want to choose to go through my affiliate link, there's going to be a bunch of more promotional things that I will do for you as well, such as putting you in my book, podcast, TV show, live stream, YouTube, and all the things. So I just go to the free group, get started, feel it out for yourself. There's so much goodness in her group. And I'm so glad that you got to hear this very, very special episode. This is a very special episode. And so watch it again and again, share it with your other women friends. Let's get the message out and help empower all the women. And again, a big thank you, Christina. I so appreciate you sharing such a beautiful interview with me.
Oh, this has been amazing. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm very honored to be on your podcast and do this interview with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, okay, all you wealthy women, now go forward and pursue your dreams and never give up. Take it one step at a time. Don't get into overwhelm. Know your heart's desire. It's already meant for you to happen. It's just a matter of time, and go be of service. And my one of my favorite things is get out of your own way by realizing you are going to be helping another. And when you're in service to somebody else, it takes all of that friction away, all of the fear away, because it's not necessarily about you. It's about how you can serve others. So go do your best and be of service to others. And and enjoy the journey. And I will see you next time on the next episode. So bye for now. Bye bye.
Right.